Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for guitarlessons365.com. We're going to finish our look at Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley here today. Now, like I said in the previous lesson, we're going to kind of cover some of the same stuff, so I'll just kind of brush over that part. But there are parts later on in the second half of the song where he kind of does these extended instrumental sections, little solos, like I just played there. I'm going to show you how to play that and any kind of variations that there were on the previous parts we learned to kind of go throughout the rest of the song. All right, so like I said, a lot of this is a little bit improvised, so it's one of those things where you just want to get the vibe of the picking down, the kind of like get that same kind of picking style going and to just run with those chords. And it's the chords kind of remain the same. So let's start here with basically the fourth time through the chorus. We're going to start with just a C. So Z to E minor, back to C, and then to that G with B in the bass, and that D with A in the bass. And then here he does a little extended chorus here, kind of instrumentally though. He goes back to the C, and then he goes to this E minor 9 chord, which is really cool. So this is kind of an instrumental version of the chorus, the kind of fourth time through it. So these notes that I'm playing here, where you got the same picking style, but it's the low E string open, second fret on the A. Remember, I'm comparing the frets to the, so 2 frets up from the capo, 4th fret on the D, open G, 3rd fret on the B, 2nd fret on the high E string. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Kind of one of those things like take your thumb across the bottom 3, 1, 2, 3, and go up and pick the B and the high E string together. Then the D string with your thumb, and then those top 2 strings again. Then do it again, but pick up your 2nd finger so the high E string is open. All right, then it goes to a C major chord, and the only difference here is 2 measures of this, but you're gonna do a hammer 2 to 3 on the A string to get into it. So other than that, it's just a regular C chord. Then back to the G with the B in the bass, just like in the normal chorus. D with A in the bass, and then we're back. All right, now here we finally make it to the guitar solo section that I played. Maybe guitar solo is just really an instrumental section. It sounds like this in the first phrase. All right, so that liberal use of reverb there really helps those notes carry out. So we're going to start here with the A string, 2nd fret, and the B string open. And then basically come into a C chord. You're just going to grab the octave though. That's the 3rd fret on the A string, 1st fret on the B. Then the open G. And then you're going to grab the 1st fret and the B string there that you already got held at the 1st fret and the open high E together. So far we have this. Now add your pinky at the 3rd fret on the high E and pick the open G, 1st fret on the B, and the 3rd fret on the high E together. Then we have our first octave. Now an octave is just same note an octave higher, so that's the 2nd fret here on the G string, and then the same note an octave higher at the 5th fret on the high E. Pick those together, then move it up 2 frets, then back down to where you first were. And then we have a kind of repeated picking pattern here that goes up with these closed voice triads. The beginning of it sounds like this. All right, so what's going on there? That's a really cool part of the song, so we're going to cover it note for note. We're going to hold this, you're borrowing the 3rd fret on the B and the high E together, and then the 4th fret on the G. Now pick across from the high E So I'm middle finger, index, then the thumb. So do that twice. And on the fourth time of hitting the G string, you're going to do a quick hammer on to the 5th fret. Alright, then you already got this bar going with the at the 3rd fret. You're going to hit the high E, 3rd fret, and then the 5th fret again on the G, and then the 5th fret on the B. So far we have this. Now I'll pick this B string again, sliding into the 7th fret, or 7th fret above the capo. You already got this chord shape in your hand, so you can just play the 7th on the G and the 5th fret on the high E. Alright, now we're going to slide from 7 to 9 above the capo on the G string. Then grab the 7th fret on the high E. Then pick 9, 8, 7. 9 on the G, 8 on the B, 7 on the high E. So far from these triads. Alright. And this part here, 9th fret on the G, 8 on the B, 8 on the high E string. Pick that 9th fret on the G again, and then pick the 2 8s together. Alright, we're going to continue this with this part. Alright, so that part's going to start here. We were just at the 9th fret. We're going to basically slide up from 9 to 11 on the G above the capo, obviously. So if that capo is at the 5th fret, the 9th fret is going to be 14, slide to 16. So now we're going to do a bar at the 10th fret on the high E and the B string. That same shape there, picking the high E string, then the B, then the G, and then back to the high E. Then back to the 11 on the G, and you're going to kind of slightly pause on that. Then we have B, high E, G, B. So all together when you slide there, it's going to sound like this. Alright, now change the fingers out, play the 11th fret there with your 3rd finger, slide it down to 9, and then it goes 8 on the B, 7 on the high E, we did that earlier, and it goes way up here and grab the 12th fret here, or 12 frets above the capo, which is 17, and hold that note. And we're going to end the little solo section by doing this. Alright, so that's the 8th fret on the high E and the 9th fret on the G together. Then move this finger to the 8th fret on the B string, and then the 10th fret there on the D, 10th fret above the capo, so we have this. Then do the exact same thing 2 frets higher. And then we're basically to the 5th verse. So I want to bring up this 5th verse real quick because it's a little bit different. It goes to the C, to the G, to the D. I'm going to play that D twice as long there. You probably noticed that in the actual recording. And then it goes back to the exact same chords that we did, leading us to the chorus. And that takes us to the last chorus. Now, that's the only thing that's really different. Now, this chorus, it's got a couple of melodic lines about it. That's my favorite parts, the guitar parts of the song. So I wanted to cover that real quick. But the last chorus is extended. He's doing a lot of this. Just the familiar progression. right back to C to start it all over again. So it just kind of just repeats. But there's a line on one of the repeats of the chorus on the guitar that sounds like this. So you heard that little, I love that little melodic line up top. So I wanted to cover that. You probably heard that in the recording. It's a really cool part. It's cool that he's singing this and just kind of, it's just coming out of his fingers while he's doing it. It's a really cool. So anyway, we're gonna be starting here with the C. I'm gonna give you the actual straight pattern to do here. We have A string and the B string together. Then pick the G and the D. The D was done with the thumb. Now I'll pick the A with the high E string, and you're going to be playing the 3rd fret on the high E string. Then the 1st fret on the B, open G. So we have this. This is the first note in the little melody line. And then we're going to move the high E string down to 2. So you're going to lift this 2nd finger here and bring that to the high E string 2nd fret, and then pick across those 3 strings. And then move this 2 back to that 2nd fret on the D string and pick that note, the D string with your thumb, and the open high E together, followed by the B and the open G. So we have this. Really cool. Then it keeps going. Go to the E minor, hold an E minor chord there. So we have this. Pick the low E, the D string, and the open G, and then place your, have a 3rd fret there on the B string, and then we're going to pick across from the B string, B, open G, the D string, and then the 1st fret on that B string. So we can go like this. So we have this and then back to the open string with the 5th string in the bass. Alright, so that's a really cool part I want to just kind of show you. And it's back to the C, and it's just pretty much just the same chords. This goes going between C and it's the same chords. And then we make it to the end there. We have this when it starts going freely at the very end. Same chorus. And then we're just, the last 3 chords, I'll come back and show you some of that picking in a second. The last 3 chords, C major 7. So it's just a C major chord with the 1st finger lifted up. To the D, you pick all those strings at once and then strum the G. Now, so it's the chorus, that extended part at really the outro of the song where he's really sustaining the vocal melody and singing that one pitch. He's basically going to be going the same chords, so you can probably be able to follow along with the chords even though he holds them longer. Now what I'm doing there, just kind of randomly, just like he is doing, you're going to start here on this G with the B in the bass. Let's just start there. And then all I'm doing is this. I'm picking the open G string with a thumb, and then the B string with my index finger, then the D string with my thumb, open D, and then the high E string with my 2nd finger. So we have this, or the middle finger, so we have this. Then do it on the D. C major 7. kind of doesn't really stay consistent. And just kind of land and go through this chorus with that kind of picking style, and then you have the last three chords. All right, so I know it's a pretty in-depth kind of a thing, and it's not one of those things, except for the solo, there's a couple parts we could do note for note, but it's really about getting those chords in your hand and understanding the picking patterns, and then pretty much treating it like he does, in that he's just kind of being relatively random with it, and that's just the picking style that this song is. But it has a really cool effect, and hopefully you'll get a cool guitar tone with a bunch of reverb, and have fun with it yourself. All right, I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.